In this video, we want to pick up the conversation and talk about finds. Searches, finds, queries, they all mean the same thing. In fact, in other database systems, you'll hear them talked about as searches or queries, but in FileMaker, we talk about them as finds. Now in FM Starting Point, you're going to do these all the time. And as a developer, you're going to have to master this skill set and be able to communicate this to your users so they know how to master these skills themselves. Now these videos are going to start off pretty basic and get more advanced as we move on here. So feel free to skip ahead if you already know this information. So first off, as we discussed in the modes video, there are 4 different fundamental modes in FileMaker. You can see those here: browse, find, layout, and preview. We're just talking about find mode. When we jump into find mode, we can do a search for whatever we're looking for. I can search for everything in the last name that begins with A and R, for example, and then I can click the perform find, or I can press the return key on my keyboard. FileMaker is going to return the matching results. FileMaker calls those matching results a found set. The found set is a specific piece of terminology that you'll hear over and over and over again, so memorize that. The found set is up here at the top. We see that indicated right here. So 770 records of the 125,000 actually match that. Now, it wasn't an exact search. It's essentially a wildcard search. FileMaker found every last name that began with an A and an R. Now, another basic fact, the default behavior of FileMaker is that searches are not case sensitive. So big A, big R, little a, little r are going to give you the same thing. Now notice as soon as we do the search, we exit back to browse mode automatically. So understanding the found set is very important. So now that we found 770 records, it's important to understand that this record scroll controller right here is now limiting us to this stack of 770 records. So if we go all the way to the right, we only have access to this subset of records. So imagine that we have 125,000 playing cards. Now that would be a lot of playing cards. But for the sake of this discussion, that's what we have. Our search or find request has limited us down to 770 in our found set. So this 125,000 are still there, but they've been moved to the side, and now we're just focused on the 770 as our found set. Most of the records have been moved out of the way. They're still available if we need to get to them, but we just have focus on that found set of that 770. So as we move back and forth with our controls, or we use our record scroll control, now if we do a sort in the system, we're only manipulating these 770. Everything that we do right now in the database is going to be limited to this 770. If we do any actions with these records right now, if we print these records right now, if we interact with this list right now and we go up and down in this list, we're only going to be able to see and interact with this 770. Now if we want to go back and jump back and look at our entire found set, we go to records, down to show all records. Now a little bit of trivia here for you. This command used to be called find all records. Now if you hear me refer to that, that's just kind of old school terminology. So you have to forgive me for that because I'm old school. But show all records or find all records is the Command J keyboard shortcut. So that's the way you do that. Now I've selected that, and notice here at the top, there's no found set anymore. And our stack now allows us to manipulate the entire group of 125,000 records. Now a couple other things about basic searches. We can do a keyboard shortcut for finds, Command F or Control F, and you're going to want to learn these keyboard shortcuts to speed your activities in FileMaker. I'm going to go ahead and do my search for AR here, and I'm also going to do a search for S in the first name. And this allows me to start narrowing my search down. Now I could have done an exact search for AR, because we see right here ARYA. I could have done the exact search for that in the system. I could have done a search for Sherman ARYA. And that would have given me that exact record. And I see people that are new to FileMaker typing exact searches out. They don't understand that FileMaker by default does wildcard searches. All you have to do is type enough information in to narrow the search request down so you have a usable group of records. So if you're looking for Sherman here, and you come up with 57 records, that's still a pretty large group of records to hunt through to try to find this person. So you might want to narrow the search down even more as a practical matter. So I can do the find again. I could say, sure, if I was in a big hurry, Sherm and AR. And now I'm down to 5 people. And that would allow me to find this person real fast. In fact, he's in here twice. And that means that there's actually a duplicate record, or basically a data entry error in our database.